In the comments, Franz Cool says it might be time to drop a legend on Kiefer Bellows. I don't know. He led the team in scoring. He's been a beast for us. It's almost there. I think one day he'll be an absolute legend for the Alaska Ice Eagles. What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of your Alaska Ice Eagles with the future legend Kiefer Bellows on the squad. We got a lot of comments to go over, and first things first, I just want to thank you all for the love and support on the last video. I mentioned there were some people who were saying they weren't really into the franchise mode, and it was cool to see people who don't usually comment actually comment. Like Carson, he says, I love this series. I don't know what they're talking about. I look forward to it every time on my feed when I open up YouTube. Carson, you're a legend, thank you very much. But I found a lot of the comments for people who weren't interested were very similar to this one. I'm not even going to try to pronounce your name, so anyways, thanks for the comment. He says, I have not been into this, but it's not your fault. I feel like we've already watched the same GM mode dozens of times. I'm really tired of this game in general, and I feel like a lot of people are, so we're just gonna have fun with it. I'm gonna do what I always do with my franchise modes. I'm still having fun with Alaska. And again, I still plan to take this 10, 12, 15 years, however long we decide to go, however long it takes to win a Stanley Cup here in Alaska. Some other comments were saying that they want to see another xTech hockey league where we take 30 new teams and bring it into the NHL. I would love to do that again. It's just an absolute ton of work, and I feel like there's just so much to go over. You really got to take it like really slow. But I mean, that's something that maybe we could do, and maybe we'll start working on it in the background. But as of right now, I'm completely focused on Alaska, and we're here at the year 4 NHL draft? This will be the 4th draft we've done with our Alaska Ice Eagles. I thought it might be cool to go back and look at our prior draft history. So if you look at the year 1 draft in 2021, obviously we made some huge selections, picking Zion over Max Kazov. I know that definitely a controversial pick, but we just signed him long term. He is up to a 94 overall, so that's fantastic. And arguably the steal of the draft, Mikko Hedman, the future captain of this team, who we have to re-sign as well. Then after that, we got Hunter Lightning, Sami Julkinen, who we eventually traded, Cole Huckins. We also drafted Nick Malik in the 4th round. He's still in our system. Where is he? There he is, 73, 22 years old. He might become something. His time is running out pretty quickly, though. He's gonna have to have a big off season. That's our year 1 draft. Year 2, we obviously moved up and selected Shane Wright, which was the right choice to make. He is an absolute beast for us. However, in the postseason, I was extremely disappointed in him. He had a great regular season, a great rookie year, but we have to remember he's a rookie, all right? He's only a rookie. This is year number 1. It's a lot to put this all on his shoulders. 20 years old. You know, he had 4 points in 10 games as a first-line center on a up-and-coming team. It's a lot for the kid, so I'm not going to put too much into it. He's 20 years old. We can wait for him to grow. I mean, he is 87 overall, so that's coming along quite nicely. Our other first-round pick in 2022 was Ulrich Sleger, who's 20 years old, 73 overall, so there's still potential for him to make the team, and I think he will in a couple of years, maybe once he's 21 or 22. He's going to have a big year here with the Tucson Roadrunners down in the AHL. He's had a couple years there already. Last year wasn't that great, a -17. They did go into the postseason, but they were eliminated early. But Ulrich Sleger, he's another guy. We also got Johnny Schaefer, everyone's favorite person. I don't know why you guys love him so much, but I highly doubt he's going to make the team. There was nothing really else in year number 2, but year number 3, we ended up selecting Luke Roach, 8th overall, which was an awesome pick, and he made the team #straight out of camp. So I don't think our drafting has been that bad. I mean, obviously, year number 1, it was pretty hard to screw it up. It was pretty hard to mess up a draft like that. And then we eventually traded our other first-round pick, Albert, in the trade that ended up bringing McMuffin to the squad. 30-goal rookie McMuffin, might I add. Rick McMuffin, 55 points. What a rookie year. He's 86 overall, so I'm just hoping that he can grow forever. He is good enough to go on our first line. It's where he fits best. I'm happy with Rick McMuffin because drafting in franchise mode is probably my weak point, but in the year 4 draft, I think it kind of gets real because we've kind of had it handed to us. Shane Wright, Luke Roach, Zion Bertuzzi, Hunter Lightning. Those were all easy picks here, but let's hop into the year 4 NHL entry draft and let's get into it. Do have a comment before we hop into the draft though. RG, he says, or she, they say you better draft both of those gems. I also think Hartikainen is the move. He really put up solid numbers. So if we look at the draft class here, I had a look at it at the end of last episode. We're going to be picking 14th, I believe. It's down here. Hartikainen. So he is around that area. RG, if he thinks we should go with Hartikainen 3 years away, might just be the move because there's really nothing else here that really entices me. But another Finnish defenseman. We're not going to move up or anything. We're just going to wait till our pick and see what the top 3 does. Oh my god, what a selection. Philadelphia, Glenn Ingles. Now, this could have been the Newfoundland Growlers, but they got screwed once again. Every single year, it's like they have the first overall pick and they drop to 4th or 2nd or 3rd. They never pick number 1, and what a player to miss out on. Glenn Ingles, or Ingles? Ingles, I don't know how you pronounce it, but a sniper. He is an absolute beast. He had 42 goals in only 68 games. Where did he play? He played in Erie in the OHL. So Connor McDavid's junior team. Let's see what the consolation prize is here for New York. Oh my god, a big power forward to play alongside a Smashkov and Michkov. Oh my god, he's only 17 years old, number 98. That's an absolute power number. Oh my god, look at the stats this guy put up. 141 points in 71 games. The New York Islanders are going to be nasty if they can keep all those players around. 81 out of the draft. And who is Newfoundland going to get? They pick an 81 overall. Okay, not bad. They get a really decent player here. Michael Raycroft, number 95, 96 points in the U.S. development program. All right, good for Newfoundland. They finally make the right selection. They got Nashville picks a defenseman. Surprise, surprise. Toronto picks a medium elite defenseman. There you go. That's not bad for 5th overall. And then the Oilers get a grinder to protect McDavid. Okay, let's go to 14 here. Let's see what is out there. So here are the picks after Edmonton. 65, 65, 65, 78. That's a great pick, 10th overall. So let's go ahead and maybe select Hartikainen. RG in the comments, he says that's the one to go with. So, I mean, this Martinez guy looks pretty good as well. I might go with Hartikainen, though. He played in an A+ league. He did drop. His previous Central Scouting ranking was 14. He's now at 16. We're going to go a little bit off the board here. I mean, this guy, though, he was scouted to go 13th. We're at the 14th picks. We dropped a little bit. He is NHL ready. Okay, this will lead me to believe he's like 78 overall. You know what? I like Hartikainen, but I think I have to go with what my scouts say here. He could be NHL ready. Bernard Boulin. He's a 6'2", two-way defenseman. I'm going to go with that. He was scouted to go 12th. We're here at 14. I have to go with the best player available. Hopefully Hartikainen isn't like 79 overall. Let's see what Bernard is looking like here. He's 75, medium top 4. Offensive defenseman. Beautiful. That's fantastic, actually. Not a bad pick at all. I like that a lot. He played in the Q, so not a crazy league. His skating looks great at 3.5 stars. His puck skills are good. He's only 18 years old. I'm really hoping that Hartikainen... Oh, we do have the 16th overall pick as well. So we could probably pick Hartikainen as well if we want to go with 2 defensemen. Let's see what Washington does here. They pick Sullivan, a 71 medium top 4. So right away we made the right choice. Should we go heavy on defensemen here? Looks like that's all that's available. And then we got Martinez here, who did have my eye. He's 3 years away, though. Only 17 years old, so he could be a project. He's a power forward. I love me some power forwards. Or we go with the medium top 4 confirmed in Rickard Hartikainen. Quentin Blacker looks like an offensive defenseman with those kind of numbers. Sheldon Granado, he's 18 years old out of the U.S. development program. He's completely unknown, so it's basically a shot in the dark. What do we do here? I am seeing a 17-year-old left defenseman, 6'3", 210, who is NHL ready. He's only 17 years old, scouted to go 24th overall. He's a big defensive defenseman. Oh man, what do? We got a minute 58 left. We could take a timeout, but you know what? I went with the defenseman last time. I'm going to go with the forward here. I'm going to go with the 17-year-old left wing power forward, Caden Martinez. I'm picking him. Hartikainen, please don't be really, really good. 66 medium top 6. Okay, let's see what we missed out on here. Hartikainen, 66 medium top 4. So I think we made the right choice. We got a steal of a defenseman here, and we got Martinez. So I like getting a forward. I like getting a defenseman. Again, he's only 17 years old at 66 overall. He's a project. I think he's going to be 4 or 5 years down the road for Caden Martinez. So that's not bad. Hartikainen, 66 overall. I think we made the right choice. Granado, 67 medium top 6. So again, you know, he's 1 year older. Stats are about the exact same. You could have went either way. What else do we miss out on here? Toronto picks Blacker. I was right. He was an offensive defenseman. If I was to pick a D-man, that would have been the one I wanted to go with because of his offensive stats. Going to Buffalo here, they pick Lambert, 65 overall. So you know what? I think we made the right choice. No one else here is really blowing me away. Everyone's like 65 medium top 6. Again, 65 medium top 6, 65 medium top 6, and 66 medium top 4 for Bobrovsky. All right, so let's see here. Ooh, 76. I should have picked this guy, Wes Bickle. Oh man, I should have went with my gut. Damn, 17 years old at 76 overall. I should have traded down. But you know what? It's okay. It's all good. You can't have every sick player. We got a forward, a defenseman. That's what I wanted to do. But that is, man, I should have went with my gut. That is an awesome player. He's still only 17. Oh my God. All right, well, you know what? You can't pick every stud in the draft, so I guess that's fine. We're going to go all the way to 45th here. We're going to go in the second round. Nothing else crazy here. No like 70 overalls. Let's see if we can make a pick here. I know there's a couple of gems available. I think it's later in the draft, though. Yeah, way back here. So 73rd overall. We're probably going to get Korolyuk and then Stützle as well. So more defensemen. We're just picking them all. We're going to go with Jamal Bogner here, who is a confirmed medium top 6. This guy looks pretty good. Played in an A+ league. He's 4 years away, so it's a project. Only 5'9". Who knows here? Going with a player from Europe, and he's 61 medium top 6. I don't hate that pick at all. I don't hate it. Let's see what we missed out on. Let's see here. Nolan, offensive defenseman. Montreal picked Webster. That was a guy I was looking at as well. Okay, maybe we could have made a better pick in the second round. I'm just hoping there's no like medium elites that I missed out on. Let's go all the way to 171. Unfortunately, I realized we don't have a pick until like the 6th round, so I guess we missed out on both those gems. That's fine. I wasn't thinking of trading up anyways, so it's all good. Just so you know, Korolyuk was low top 4, 62 offensive defenseman, so it's not the best pick in the world. Stützle, that's right, he was there. He's going to go 247, so we're probably going to pick him with our 7th round pick because we're at 171 here. Let's just, I don't know, pick a 20-year-old late in the draft. Maybe a goalie's out here like Theo Sestito. What a name. Theo Sestito. That's just a lot of fun to say. It's a very fun name. We're going to go with the goalie here. Let's pick a tendy. Theo Sestito from the Barrie Colts of the Ontario Hockey League. 18 years old, 6'3" goalie, medium backup. It's not the worst thing in the world. And I think with our late round pick here, 7th round, we're going to go ahead and pick Stützle, the gem. Everyone knows picking gems is the right thing to do. Plus, he's 20 years old. Let's go. Oliver Stützle, and he's low elite 57 overall. Hey, I'll take that. At the very worst, Stützle is going to be at least some decent trade values. I think we did okay. Our first 2 picks, I mean, I would have loved to get that guy from Carolina, 76. I should have went with my gut. I knew he was going to be good. Okay, off to the re-sign stage here where we have to re-sign a coach, which I'll do that right now. All right, assistant coach is good to go. I got to do all my scouts, but I'll do that off camera. Now we have to see what Mikko Hedman is going to want. So Hunter Lightning is back on a short-term deal, which I like. Now, speaking of the short term, we got a comment here from Daniel Myers. He says, if you don't at least reach the semifinals in this upcoming season, it's time to do a dump of Schmaltz, Wenberg, and other older players to get the young guns going. However, I do love the series, and I wish for it to continue. Your wish is my command, Daniel Myers. I'm going to keep going. So I agree with what you're saying. We should make some room here for, obviously, the young guys to come up here. Hopefully, Luke Roach takes a big step. Hopefully, we can get these young guys really in the top 6. But let's have a look here, first things first, at what Mikko Hedman is going to want. He wanted like 12.2 last time. We have 44 million to work with, so it's not like we're really stretched to the cap, and he only wants 11.8, so a little bit of a discount. I mean, he is worth it, though. He is a 70 to 80 point offensive defenseman, 6 years. Let's try for $11 million for 6 years. Let's try that. I'm kind of scared that Wenberg is going to want like 9 or 10 million. Okay, he only wants 6.7. Now, Wenberg's been great for us. He's a big piece of that +5 on the second line with Burakovsky and obviously the future legend Kiefer Bellows. I mean, 6.7 for 70 points, that's doable. He's been pretty consistent. He's only 29 years old. I mean, we trade him in a couple years. He's still going to have a decent amount of trade value. Let's make it a nice little 6x6, the Louis Eriksson Classic. Let's see what he says. Jordan Greenway, I'd like to bring him back. 1.2 for 2 years. It's a great deal. Thank you very much. Kasperi Kapanen, 1.9 for 3 years. Absolutely. That's just easy money. Thank you. Colton Parayko, I think we're going to say goodbye to. He doesn't want an extension. The Colton Parayko experiment, unfortunately, didn't really work out. He was better this year, but I think we're going to move on from Colton Parayko and see if we can find something else in free agency. So we're going to release Colton Parayko, thank you, but no thank you. Matt Zuccarello as well. We're going to release Kalen Addison. We're going to tender qualify. We're going to send him a qualifying offer. Everyone else is pretty easy. I can do off camera. I won't bore you guys to death. I think we'll bring back Tuukka Rask as a backup, and then we basically have to find another top 4 defenseman, and I think we're going to be good. Our assistant coach says yes, that's good to go. Tuukka Rask was cheap. He was $2 million for 1 year, so I like that a lot. Nikita Zadorov was he's a big defensive defenseman, though. I really like Nikita Zadorov. Jordan Greenway was a steal. Kasperi Kapanen was a steal. Mikko Lehtinen was 1.9 for 3 years, so again, another decent contract. Tyler Steenbergen, of course, I love this guy. He's been here since the beginning. I can't promise him a roster spot this year because I'd like to get 3 grinders on our 4th line and get that a +5. That's something I'd like to do, so I can't promise Mr. Steenbergen a roster spot. So Alexander Wenberg, he says no, obviously. Mikko Hedman also says no. We're going to have to go back and offer them a little bit more money. I knew that was going to happen, but we still have $36 million, so I'm not super worried about it. I mean, what am I worried about? Over $800,000. Give the man what he wants. He's the future captain of this team. As for Alexander Wenberg, let's try 6.5 by 6. What about a smaller deal? What about a 3-year deal at 6.5? How about that? Let's see if he wants to do that. I'm not crazy about the 6-year deals. Makes it a little bit harder to trade, but I do think he's a big piece of this team, especially because he has that big +5. So Alexander Wenberg says yes, and Mikko Hedman says yes as well. So we're going to head off into free agency, see what the team is looking like. So we're definitely going to have to bring in at least a top 4 defenseman, see what else we can do. I'm going to write out the team as I usually do, just easier for me to see what we need, and we are going to test free agency. Okay, so the way I see it right here, we might be a bit of a spender in free agency here. So our top 6 is great. Our top 9's actually great. I feel like that's going to be just fine. Our 4th line, though, I wouldn't mind getting 2 grinders to play alongside of Luke Roach. I know 3 grinders would be ideal, but I think Luke Roach is going to be a 4th line center for this year, because I'm pretty sure Nick Schmaltz is going to stick around for at least 1 more year. Our defense, though, we could use 2 top 4 defensemen, because if we go with Lehtinen and Zadorov as our bottom pairing, with Hedman and Soderstrom as our first pairing, or we could go with Hedman and another defenseman and then go with Soderstrom and blank. So we'll see what's out here in free agency. Luckily, there's not a ton for us to do, and we still have a decent amount of cap. So hopefully there is some big defensive pieces here in free agency, and right away I see Chris Letang. Ooh, okay. Okay, all right. Chris Letang, he's a 2-way defenseman. I mean, it's going to be only for 1 year, right? He has the high overall. He wants a 1 year deal. We have the cap. Well, I mean, what else are we going to really do with it, right? Okay, I like Chris Letang. It's only for 1 year. I like it a lot. Any other defenseman, and then it really drops off. So that kind of sucks. Colton Parayko and Jacob Larson. I do like Jacob Larson as a two-way defenseman. He's good. He's only 27. There's really not a lot out there for defensemen, unfortunately. Dougie Hamilton, we're not going down that road all over again. There's actually a decent amount of defensemen in here, like Hayden Fleury, Brady Shea. There's a good amount. Patrice Bergeron, 81 overall Bergeron. Unreal. You hate to see it. Oli Ulevi's out there, Daniel Sprong. We don't really need, oh my God, Jonathan Toews. These old guys looking for contracts. Zach Sanford, former legend. Where did he end up? Did he bounce around after we traded him? No, he went right to Edmonton. 48 points in 82 games. He didn't have a great fit with Edmonton, unfortunately. I like Chris Letang a lot. He has a couple of Stanley Cups. He knows what it takes. This is basically his last crack at going for a Stanley Cup. He went to New Jersey last year, had a great year, plus 18. They let him walk. After his entire career with Pittsburgh, I wouldn't mind bringing in Chris Letang. Oh man, Hedman and Chris Letang. Let's see how this works out. We're gonna have to overpay him to come to free agency, but we have the cap to do it. $11 million for 1 year. Chris Letang, a nice little severance package. Again, we have the cap, so why not try it? Okay, $11 million for Chris Letang. We're doing it. So that cuts our cap in half, but we still have some options out here. So before I sign anyone, I just kind of want to see how Chris Letang's going to fit on our chemistry-wise, but I can't really look at it until the season starts. So let's pick out another defenseman here, and then we're going to have like $5 million to work with for our fourth line. So I'm thinking we go with like Jacob Larson. Why not? He's probably the best guy out there. His offensive awareness is good. Defensive awareness is nice. He's a perfect top 4 D-man. Does it say he fits well in all power play lines? So that's good, I guess. When I was writing down the team, I purposely left off Kalen Addison because he wanted a lot of money for a bottom pairing defenseman. But I mean, depending on what I want to do I really need another top 4 defenseman? Because Mikko Lehtinen played so damn good last year. Say we play Mikko Lehtinen with Victor Soderstrom, but really having an 80 overall isn't really great for our top. So I've been going back and forth for the last like 10 minutes, and I think we're going to get Hayden Fleury. He wants a 5x5, which I'm cool with. I like Hayden Fleury. He's young enough. He's a two-way defenseman. Him and Victor Soderstrom could turn out to be a pretty good second pair. I really, really like his stats. I like the way he plays. I think Hayden Fleury is our guy. A part of me wants to go with a guy like Jake Muzzin, who's not quite as flashy, more of a shutdown guy, and I still might. We can't focus too much on chemistry. I'm going to go with my gut. We're going to offer a 5x5 for Hayden Fleury. There you go. I'm doing it. There you go. Okay, now let's go ahead and focus on our fourth line. Let's see what's out there for guys we can bring in to play with Luke Roach. We have a power forward, so we could go with a couple of grinders or a playmaker sniper for the fourth line, which isn't ideal, but it might be the way to go. Okay, so what we're going to do here is we're going to go with the fourth line, power forward, playmaker, sniper. See if it works out. I'm really having a hard time finding players that are going to fit. So we're going to go with Matt Calvert. It's going to be a 1-year deal. It's going to be dirt cheap. He fits perfectly on our fourth line. So that's great. We're going to go with Matt Calvert. We're going to go with Luke Roach. And now I have to find a playmaker for the fourth line. I think we're going to go with Sam Militek here, who is not a super high overall, 79, but there's really not a lot out there for playmakers that'll fit on the fourth line. So we're going to try that, just a bit of an experiment. If it doesn't work out, whatever, we can always go back to bringing up Tyler Steenbergen. There you go. He wants a 2-way deal anyways. There you go. Okay, I think we're done here. That took way longer than what I wanted. I'm sure it's going to be like 2 minutes for you guys, but I've been sitting here for like 20 minutes trying to find out what the hell I'm going to do. Oh my God, Alex Newhook is in free agency. Jeez, we saw how awesome he was last year. I'm not going to go get him. All right, so we made some moves here in the free agency period. Hayden Fleury decides to sign on the big 5x5. There you go. Matt Calvert, he says yes as well. All these guys for our AHL team, that's fine. Ty Dellandrea, I tried to get him out of the Dallas Stars. I didn't want to offer up any picks, so I didn't give him that much money because he's a restricted free agent. He says no, that's fine. We got guys like Tyler Madden, like some low 70 overall guys. Brady Shea, you just signed that guy, now you want to trade him to me? Chris Letang says yes, 11 million. Of course you're gonna say yes. Okay, we're done. Let's go off into the start of next year. We're getting a ton of trades I'm not interested in. I'm hoping the chemistry works out, but it's not the end of the world if it doesn't. It's just chemistry. There's lots more in life to worry about than just chemistry. Okay, so this is how everything is going to look out. The fourth line is a +1 with Luke Roach, Matt Calvert, and Sam Militek. I'm fine with that. +1 on the fourth line. Again, it's not the end of the world. It's just chemistry, but I tried to go playmaker, power forward, sniper. Didn't really work out. It is what it is. Jordan Greenway, Nick Schmaltz, Kasperi Kapanen. That's a +1. Obviously our trusty +5. For some reason, Rick McMuffin dropped down to 82, and Shane Wright to an 84. I assume once the season gets started, actually all four of these guys, Kiefer Bellows was an 87, and Andre Burakovsky was an 86. So I assume they're all going to jump back up. As for the defense, Hedman and Soderstrom get a +5. Letang and Fleury only get the +1. It's only a +1 if I play Letang with Hedman, and there's really nothing else I could have done. Even if I was to go there's really nothing. I mean, I tried to move everything around the best I could, but the only way we get the better chemistry is if we go with what works with Victor Soderstrom and then Mikko Hedman with Letang and Fleury. I like that, and obviously between the pipes, Hunter Lightning. So we're good to go. Let's get at least one game of simulation done, just because that's how we roll here. Got to see how the boys are starting out. So let's go here in the Igloo. We're at our home opener here in Alaska. Calgary is 1-0. Let's start off this year right. Year number 4. Let's go. Period number 1 against Calgary, 0-0. All right. Period number 2, 1-0, and it's Chris Letang in his first game as a member of the Alaska Ice Eagles. The veteran presence on the back end puts us up 1-0. Power play for Calgary, but we killed it off, and a power play goal for Luke Roach. I actually didn't even touch the power play. I probably should have looked at that. 2-0. There you go, Luke Roach. I don't know why that guy's getting power play time, but I'll take it. Victor Soderstrom, short-handed power play goal, a short-handed goal, 3-0. Hunter Lightning makes 35 saves. That's what I'm talking about. That is how you shut up people are saying, trade Hunter Lightning, he sucks. Boom, shut out in game number 1. Okay, so I don't want to go too crazy in this video because we already did a bunch of tinkering around. I do want to look at the head coaches available. I know there was some that got fired, so I'm just going to look here. There's like 5 or 6 head coaches available. Bryson Pete, he won a Stanley Cup. I remember that name, so he doesn't really like Zion. That's fine. I'm not looking to make a move. I'm just having a look. I'm just peeking. This guy looks like my thumb. Wyatt Copeland, he has never coached as a head coach, but he really likes Mikko Hedman. This guy absolutely hates Zion Bertuzzi, so Jaden, you're not the guy. Rome Brodeur, I remember him, and there's not a lot out there for head coaches that like Zion, so I think, except for this guy, but he likes physical players. I don't know why he likes Chris Letang then. The coaching system in this game needs a little bit of an overhaul. I think we're going to stick with our head coach. Ooh, this guy seems to like everybody. Jocelyn, she loves Zion Bertuzzi. So let's have a look here. Let's just compare it to what our head coach is. I think it's still like 65% or something. What is it? 69%. So you know what? He likes everyone except for Shane Wright, which kind of sucks. But I'm happy with that. We're going to keep it the way it is. I'm not going to make a coaching change right now. I am good with the team. We started off 1-0. In the next episode, we're going to get a bunch of simulation done, but I'm happy with the team. I think this year we're going for playoffs. We're going deep in the playoffs. I'm really hoping, look, Kiefer Bellows back up to an 86. I'm hoping these guys eventually bounce back, but I'm happy with how the team's looking. It's playoff or bust right now. We got a veteran Chris Letang who's got a couple of Stanley Cups. I'm happy about that. Let me know what you think about the offseason, and I will see you guys in the next one.